What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated, undisputed lightweight world champion, superstar boxer, Devin the Dream Haney, 28 wins, no loss, and no draw, 15 wins by way of knockout, 23 years of age, 5'9" with a 72-inch arm reach. He and undefeated three-division world champion, superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis, who is 27 wins, no losses, no draw, 25 wins by way of knockout. He is 27 years of age, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. They have been going back and forth via social media. And Gervonta Tank Davis recently stated that Devin Haney just wants to be like him. He wants to be me so bad, is what Gervonta Tank Davis had to say. And Devin Haney, he eventually responded and he said, "You're saying everything, but let's fight. You already stated that you wanted to make this fight happen after your respective upcoming fight at the time, which was his May 28th showdown with fellow stablemate, lightweight star title contender Rolando Rolly Romero, in which he brutally knocked out Rolly Romero in the 6th round of their fight. And just a week later, June 4th in the States, June 5th in Australia, Devin Haney, he took on defeated former unified lightweight world champion Australian star boxer George Kambosos Jr., in which he dominated and pitched a shutout against George Kambosos Jr. and became the first undisputed 4 major sanction belt lightweight world champion in the history of sport of boxing. And he's also the youngest 4-belt era undisputed champion in the history of sport of boxing. So leading up into that, Gervonta Tank Davis, he stated that he wanted to face off against Devin Haney in his sit-down interview he did with Brian Custer. But a few things he also stated in that he somewhat retracted was that he stated that he wasn't going to re-sign with legendary, iconic, Hall of Fame, retired superstar, 5-division world champion, pound-for-pound former king, the man known as Money, Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Mayweather Promotions, with CEO Leonard Ellerbe, that this was his last fight. This fight with Rolly Romero was his last fight with Mayweather Promotions, and that he was moving on and it was time to focus on GTD Promotions, okay? And he stated that I'm not signed with anybody, and Devin Haney's doing a lot of talking. He's an email champion, and so he never fought for a real world title. So I want to fight him. Let's make that happen next. Let's fight Devin Haney next. Well, Devin Haney, he won his fight. Now, this was Tank Davis leading up into his fight with Rolando Rolly Romero. And then afterwards, you didn't hear much talk about Tank Davis wanting to fight Devin Haney. And he also seemingly re-signed with Mayweather Promotions, right? And he's obviously still with the PBC, Premier Boxing Champion, founder and advisor Al Heyman. Showtime president of sports Steven Espinosa. So, he stated that was his last fight, but clearly that was not his last fight. And Devin Haney was asked about what he wanted next after he beat Kambosos, and he stated that he wanted to fight Gervonta Tank Davis, or Olympic 2-time gold medalist, 3-division world champion, former unified lightweight world champion, Ukrainian superstar boxer Vasil High-Tech Lomachenko, who has 16 wins, 2 losses, no draws, 11 wins by way of knockout. He is 34 years of age, 5'6" with a 66-inch arm reach. So with that said, Lomachenko 10 toes down in the Ukraine, not available. Devin Haney had a rematch clause, immediate rematch clause with Kambosos, and Tank Davis didn't make mention or any reference to wanting to fight Devin Haney, okay? That kind of went by the wayside. So Devin Haney moved on seemingly. But in shocking, WBA, World Boxing Association President Gilberto Mendoza, stated that Devin Haney, his father, trainer, manager, and CEO of DHP, Devin Haney Promotions, Bill Haney, they reached out to the WBA to try to orchestrate a fight between them and Gervonta Tank Davis. Clearly, Devin Haney did not want to entertain this rematch with George Kambosos Jr., who is now 20 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 10 wins by way of knockout, 29 years of age, 5'9" with a 68-inch arm reach, as Devin Haney pitched the shutout. Well, Devin Haney, he said that George Kambosos activated this rematch clause simply out of pride because he don't truly believe he can win the fight. It's just his competitive nature and his pride that he lost his belts in his backyard in embarrassing fashion, and so he wants to attempt to rectify it. It's not that he actually believes it or any of those things. And so Devin Haney stated that he was willing to pay step aside money, do whatever he needed to do to secure a fight with Tank or Lomachenko. And according to Gilberto Mendoza, that's exactly what was the process they was attempting. But he stated that they reached out to Tank Davis's team, and Tank Davis' team met those requests with a strong no. And if they order it, he's going to vacate the title. So that's what Gilberto Mendoza had to say about this. So we know Tank Davis is the WBA regular champion, and that Tank Davis also stated that, he's the mandatory because the WBA, he simultaneously held the WBA super title at 130, WBA regular title 135 and 140. And so the WBA, they gave him an ultimatum. He had to vacate so they could eliminate some of the belts. He vacated the 130-pound super title and the 140-pound regular title, which left him with the 35-pound regular title and put him in position to be the mandatory, and Devin Haney became the undisputed champion. So the fight would be easy to make, okay? But, according to Gilberto Mendoza, Tank's team didn't want to fight. So Tank is saying that, he responds by saying that, I'd rather put butts in seats than focus on belts, okay, and legacy. Yeah, he's considered the cash cow, the big draw from junior welterweight on down. But the fans are calling for him to fight the big names, right? And Devin Haney is one of those big names. So Tank Davis said that he would much rather fill up seats than to fill up his trophy case, right? But there's a way that you could do both. As Devin Haney put it, that, he's still making tons and tons of money while focused on building his legacy. So you can do both, obviously. Tank Davis is a promoter in Floyd Mayweather. He did both. He fought more world champions than anybody in the history of the sport of boxing. He is arguably the greatest fighter of all time, TBE, the best to ever do it. He made more money than anybody in the history of the sport of boxing, making $1 billion in the sport of boxing. So, it can be done where you can do both, where you could, fight for your legacy and still get the most revenue as much as possible. And so with that said, Devin Haney responds by telling Tank, "You're saying everything but let's fight." Tank Davis set his sights on undefeated lightweight junior welterweight Mexican superstar title contender King Ryan Garcia. 23 wins, no loss, no draw. 19 wins by way of knockout. 23 years of age, 5'10" with a 70-inch arm reach. So looks like he set his sights on him. But Tank Davis just recently announced that he will be back in December. But it don't look like Ryan Garcia could be that opponent. It looks like Ryan Garcia could be making ways to fight former unified lightweight world champion, superstar boxer Teofimo Lopez December 10th, okay? So with that said, Teofimo Lopez made his comeback after being shockingly defeated by George Kambosos and losing his belt. Okay, Teofimo Lopez is now 17 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 13 wins by way of knockout, 25 years of age, 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach. So he made his ring return after losing November 27th to George Kambosos. He fought against Pedro Campos, and he made his debut at junior welterweight, where Ryan Garcia is now had his last 2 fights. So it looked like, according to Eric Gomez of Golden Boy Promotions, they're looking to negotiate and get a deal done with Teofimo Lopez for December and been in contact with Bob Arum. So with that said, Tank Davis said he'll be back in December. Against who is going to be the big question, right? So he announces not too long ago, December, he'll be back. Devin Haney's fighting George Kambosos October 15th in Australia. So clearly it won't be Devin Haney. Apparently it won't be Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez. And it may be Isaac Pitbull Cruz in a rematch. We could possibly see Isaac Pitbull Cruz and Gervonta Tank Davis in a rematch in December. Isaac Cruz is fighting Sunday, which is September 4th, okay? If he's victorious, he will definitely be available to fight in December. Okay, and it looks like it's going to be Isaac Cruz. And this debate all started with Isaac Cruz's recent post, which he stated he wants the rematch with Tank so he can bring a title back to Mexico. When Devin Haney said, "What are you talking about? I'm the champion. How could you bring a title to Mexico without fighting me?" This is where this all started. So it looked like you can see Tank versus Isaac Cruz Part 2 in December. But let's see how this unfolds. And it looks like we're going to get Lomachenko versus Devin Haney in the first quarter of next year. So let's see how this all unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all in one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share the videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.